take a little egg. You're a beautiful little egg, and I'm going to plant your little egg. La, la, la. Happy birthday.
Kim, what are you doing? What?
Just wait.
Well, for what? What are you doing? You're growing like what? An egg tree? What?
No, Cassandra, eggs don't go on trees.
No.
Everybody knows that.
No.
It just needs a little water. Here we go.
Kim, that's...
Shh. Just wait.
Oh! Kim! A bunny!
Happy Easter!
It's a real bunny. How did you do that, Kim?
Come on, Cassandra. It was just a little water.
Oh, so cute.
I know, it's cute.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Kim, and welcome to a very special day here on
Central Kids TV. We are talking about humility, which is putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve.
And we are also celebrating the most amazing example of humility ever. We are celebrating Easter.
Oh, woohoo! Easter! Yay! It is finally here. It is Easter, kids. I love Easter. Kim,
Yes.
what do you love about Easter?
I love the peeps. I mean, I really do love peeps. I don't care what color they are. Pink, blue, green, yellow, red. What shape they are. A bunny, a chick, or whatever. I do like to open the packages and let them get hard and then eat them crunchy. I love peeps.
Okay, but besides the peeps...
Egg hunts! I mean, going around and finding eggs and then discovering all the candies and goodies inside.
Okay, so you still go on egg hunts, like with other kids?
Yes.
Oh.
Come on, it's a full-on competition. And I always get more eggs than anyone else. So be aware. You don't want to get between me and my Easter eggs.
All right, so note to self, don't go on an egg hunt with Miss Kim. Okay, but Kim, what do you love about why we celebrate Easter?
Bunnies! Okay. They're so soft and cute and sweet.
Okay, I love all those things too, but maybe it's time for the story before the story.
The story before the story.
Today, we're in John, the fourth book in the New Testament.
But before John, in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world.
But when people turned away from God, the world was broken.
God made a plan to draw people back into relationship. So, at the right time, God sent his very own son, Jesus.
When Jesus grew up, he traveled from town to town, teaching and healing. People were ready to make him king.
But when Jesus came to Jerusalem for the Passover festival, the religious leaders made plans to get rid of him.
At a special Passover meal with his friends, Jesus shared one way people would know his followers, by their love.
Which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Are you ready to hear the most epic Bible story ever? Absolutely, I can't wait! Like we've said before, Jesus is God's son who came to earth over 2,000 years ago. He traveled all over Israel with his followers, teaching people about God's kingdom and healing people of diseases.
He taught people how to be generous and how to pray.
Yeah, he sure did. And he taught the most important commandment, which is to love God and love one another, right?
Yep, but he wasn't just sent to earth to do those things.
Right.
Was he?
No, he wasn't. He had a very special mission to save the world and to make it possible for people to have a relationship with God.
A revelation that would last forever.
Hello?
Hi?
Hi yourself.
I was just about to tell everyone the epic story of Jesus' ultimate mission on earth.
And I was just about to go behind the Bible. Jesus and his followers traveled all over Israel, His fame was growing, and people began wanting to make him their king. But the religious leaders didn't like this. They felt threatened by Jesus and wanted to get rid of him. So, when Jesus and his disciples traveled to Jerusalem for the Passover festival, the religious leaders hatched their plan.
We were in the Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus had been praying. Me and some other disciples, James and John, we were just exhausted, could barely keep our eyes open. We might have fell asleep a couple of times, but Jesus kept insisting on praying. I honestly didn't understand why we could not just go to bed. We'd done the Passover meal. Why were we staying up so late to pray? But then we heard them. This crowd of people coming with torches and weapons, and there were all these soldiers. And Judas, someone we thought was our friend, was leading them. Jesus asked them, "Who do you want?" And somebody said, "Jesus of Nazareth." So Jesus said, "I am he." And then they all just fell to the ground. He could have escaped, but he didn't.
That's important to remember. Jesus was so powerful and in control the whole time, but he chose to let the soldiers arrest him.
He knew that this was all a big part of God's plan.
And a part of his mission.
And it was a mission he would face alone.
When they arrested Jesus, all of my friends, they all just ran away. Me and one other disciple followed him at a distance. I was determined that I would never abandon him like the others.
They followed Jesus to the home of the high priest. While Jesus was being questioned, Peter waited in a courtyard outside. When asked if he was a follower of Jesus, Peter denied knowing him.
I denied knowing Jesus, my friend, my Lord. 3 times I denied him.
Jesus was questioned by the high priest, and he was found guilty, even though he'd done nothing wrong.
Then Jesus was handed over to the Roman government for punishment, to a man named Pontius Pilate.
I wasn't sure what to think of this Jesus of Nazareth. I couldn't find him guilty of any crimes. I told the people I believed he was innocent. But the crowd kept shouting for me to crucify him, to put Jesus to death. And I didn't want to upset the people, so I ordered him to be crucified.
2 other men, criminals, were crucified next to Jesus, one on each side. And after a few long hours, Jesus died.
Jesus gave up his life. He died on the cross as a payment for the sins of the world. He made a way for us to have a relationship with God again. His mission to save the world involved laying down his life so that we could truly live.
But that wasn't the end of the story.
No, it wasn't. Carry on.
2 men took Jesus' body and wrapped it in linen cloth. They put him in a tomb outside a garden and sealed it shut with a large stone. 2 days later, one of Jesus' followers, Mary Magdalene, went to the tomb.
I got there first thing in the morning, and the stone had been moved away from the entrance. So I told Peter and John, and they raced to the tomb as fast as they could.
So I walked into the tomb, and I was shocked. It was empty, except for the cloth Jesus' body was wrapped in. We didn't know what to think. Who would take a body?
Peter and John went back to where they were staying, and I went to the tomb. When I went inside, I saw 2 angels dressed in white sitting where Jesus' body had been. They spoke to me. They asked me, "Why are you crying?" And then I turned around and I saw who I thought was the gardener. He asked me who I was looking for, and I said, "Sir, did you carry him away? Where did you put him?" And then he said, "Mary." Then I knew. He wasn't the gardener. He was Jesus. He was alive. He was dead, but now he's alive.
Mary went to the disciples and told them what she had seen.
She said, I have seen the Lord.
Can you imagine what they must have thought?
Were they happy? Were they confused? Were they unsure?
They were scared.
Oh.
The disciples were all together hidden behind locked doors, afraid that if Jesus could be killed, they might be next. It was hard to believe what Mary told them unless they saw it with their own eyes. They would soon get that chance.
We were huddled together when all of a sudden, Jesus just shows up right there in the room with us. He said, "May peace be with you." And I'm like, yes, peace is what we need. He showed us the wounds where he'd been hurt on the cross. It was really him, alive from the dead.
Jesus, the Son of God and Savior of the world, gave his life to save us. And on the third day, Jesus rose again. Not even death could stop him. This has been Behind the Bible.
When Jesus came back to life, he not only defeated death for himself, he defeated the power of death for everyone, even you and I. And that's why we celebrate Easter.
That's so amazing. Such an epic story from history.
Jesus was so humble. He could have chosen himself over us and saved himself, but he didn't.
And even though he was God's son, he still chose to lay down his life and serve and love others.
Yep. On Easter, we celebrate his love, his sacrifice, and his resurrection. He is alive, and we can have a relationship with him forever.
That is definitely the best reason to celebrate Easter.
That's why our big idea today is celebrate because Jesus is alive. Woo-hoo! So, I have a question for everyone today. How do you celebrate Easter?
Perhaps you play some springtime games with bunnies and eggs and go for an egg hunt.
Or maybe you like to read the Easter story or spend time listening to music.
Or maybe eating a big meal with the people you love, your family, like loving others, like the way Jesus taught us to do.
Or coming here to church.
Yes.
Yeah. There are so many ways to celebrate the good news that Jesus is alive.
No matter how you celebrate, we hope you have a very happy Easter.
Yes, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time on Central Kids TV, guys.
Oh, look what I got.
Oh, she's so cute.